all right, the Detroit Lions just got the perfect player. This guy, you kind of forget about him. Then you're like, oh, yeah, he's good. Then he's like, oh, you go back and forth on him. And that is Marcus Davenport. And by the way, let me know in the comments your score predictions for this game. But Marcus Davenport, remember, we get him. It's like he's an injured dude. Who cares? Then that week one, he plays so good. And he's such a huge part of what we need to do defensively. And then he's hurt. And it's like he has an injury history. Yep, he's out. Well, he's back. And this is huge because the Arizona Cardinals have a mobile quarterback, which we've historically just been frustratingly hard for us. But Aiden Hutchinson playing great. Now you've got Marcus Davenport on the other side. This is huge for our defense to keep Kyler Murray just kind of contained. And then the offense can really take advantage. So we're going to get into the offense and some changes that they're going to make. But if you look at it here, one of the big things that I was really concerned about was Davenport having a long-term injury. He has a growing injury. He was dinged up in week 1, missed a full week of practices in the game week 2. He returned to practice field full in his promise. And the Lions are hoping to be ready to play against the Cardinals. So this is great. Same with Amon-Ra St. Brown, who had a quad injury, who was limping all over the place last game. He talked about in his podcast being extremely tired, and those drives were, they're running, they're throwing. This is another reason why throwing is so hard, because your receivers are running hard routes. Then they come back, run them again. And it's like, man, we just can't throw 55 times a game because we're not conditioned. I don't think anyone is, receivers, everybody. So we're going to run the football this week. But to have Davenport back now really helps. They keep talking about crush the can with the defensive line and how they're going to just collapse the pocket. And I think Kyler has highlight plays, right? No question. He will this week. He's going to get out of the pocket, chuck it downfield. That's, in a way, that's okay, because you can't just let him back there and be comfortable. In the whole long scheme of the game, him running around like crazy and trying to make plays is to our advantage. We can't have him back in the pocket, looking around, stepping a little bit, stepping this way, and then firing it, right? He needs to be running all crazy. I don't love that, and I hate when he's running around, but I think at the end of the day, that's ultimately what we want, is him to be uncomfortable in the pocket. We're collapsing it. He can't find where he needs to go, and so Marcus Davenport helps big time with that. As for this matchup, and you look specifically at what the Cardinals do and how we match up, I think it's perfect for the Lions, because defensively, the Cardinals defensively, they run a 3-4 heavy zone defense. And they want to keep everything in front of them. They're not giving up big plays. They're kind of backing up. So what does that mean? We have to run the ball. And we all know this, right? As Lions fans, we're crying for it last week. Their defense really sets up for this. You saw how Mel Kiper is talking about the 2 deep safeties needs to be outlawed. This is what they're doing. They're going to go 2 deep, back up, everything in front of them. Don't give up big plays. Make the offense work for it all the way down the field. So as a Lions team, it's like, okay, we're built for that. That's the thing. And that is why the Lions are so good. And why I'm not concerned is because if you back up, we got to be able to run the ball. If you come up on us like the Rams were up on us, we were throwing it a little bit better, so we can do either one. So when you look at it, you've got this defensive coordinator. His name's Nick Rallis. He's 31 years old. And he runs a 3-4 scheme that I think is going to be perfect. So that 3-4 base, lots of zone, keep everything in front of them, don't give up big plays. They use off coverage with their corners, split zone their safeties, prefer quicker linebackers who can cover, and only blitz 22% of the time, which is below league average. This all plays into our hands. We love our offensive line is can hold up. You start blitzing, things happen, right? So sweet, don't blitz. Covers are off. Linebackers are smaller, so we can run on these linebackers. Run. Dan Campbell said, defensively, they give you multiple looks. They fly to the football. They're aggressive. Budda Baker, he's an issue. He's an active player. He's a football-playing dude. He can smell it. He can sniff it. They're physical up front. This is going to be an outstanding test for us. It's like, no, not really. because we're going to go back under center and we're going to run the football. And then when you're tired of us running on it, we're going to mix in play action. You don't know what we're going to do. When I look back at the game last week, our most just like that looks good is when we were under center. Play action, looking good. When we're in shotgun repeatedly, that looks Jim Bob Cooter-y to me. And those are the days, remember, Stafford's just in shotgun. And then he's handing it to Theo Riddick. Which, again, those angles are off. So it's like, here you go, Theo Riddick. Here you go, Amir Abdullah. Remember those? Did those runs ever work? No. And now it's 3rd and 8. And you're hitting a little, what would you do? You hit a little check down arrow route to Theo Riddick. And that was the offense. And again, we had Golden Tate and Kelvin Johnson, but it was hard. It was just hard. Whereas last year's offense compared to this year and Jim Bob Cooter, things just boom, boom, 6 yards, 7 yards, run for 4. Oh, little leak out. Oh, there's Sam Laporta for 12. St. Brown over the middle, right? There was just a lot of ease to it. And so when you look at the offense and the concerns for the offense, here's what is really amazing to me is that let's see here. The Lions are averaging 21 points per game, which is 16th in the NFL, right? So here we are, like, our offense sucks, terrible. Still, they're in the middle of the pack. They're averaging 5.7 yards a play, which is 11th. Just using the most basic of statistics, the Lions are still middle of the pack offense, which the reason I bring that up is because it just shows how good the Lions have been offensively, because we look out there and it's like, oh my gosh, we can't do anything. But really, Lions are just chugging away. So that makes me think that our defense, we can clearly see, is improved, is going to keep us in games. But offensively, we're not even doing anything right, and we're just middle of the pack. So keep an eye on that. I think we're gonna be just fine. And I'm excited to see it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're new and you haven't watched any of our videos, keep watching them. If you've been watching for a while, make sure you subscribe. We'd really appreciate that. And we'll see all of you on the next one.